Assalamu alaikum. I'm Syed Zulfikar Bukhari, former Minister for Overseas Pakistanis Human Resource Development, Chairman Pakistan Tourism, Core Committee member of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. This trip of mine to Oman is a very special and dear one. Reason being is that it's a country which is so close, yet we don't take enough advantage of each other. In our brotherhood, in our economic ties, in the oceans we share, the waters we share with one another. After 20 years, His Excellency, the Ambassador of Pakistan, brought a delegation to Pakistan, which met the Prime Minister, Imran Khan. It had the Excellency Chairman of Chamber of Commerce. It had very distinguished businessmen from the Omani community. It also had very distinguished gentlemen from the Pakistani Omani community. So it was really an epic meeting led by His Excellency the Prime Minister, and it showed how much potential there is for collaboration between the two nations and how much potential we haven't been capitalizing on for decades. We are just an ocean apart, and unfortunately, due to regional pressures and international pressures, we concentrate on other things, but we often don't concentrate enough on countries which can offer us so much more with much less stress and tension and more things in similarity. Oman hosts around 200,000, 205,000 Pakistanis. On behalf of the Prime Minister, on behalf of the government, on behalf of the people of Pakistan, we would first like to say thank you from the bottom of our heart from the way that they look after Pakistanis and make it feel like their second home. It's one of the countries that during this horrific pandemic over the last 2 years, we had very seamless repatriation of our Pakistanis back to Pakistan, and it was due to the vision of His Majesty and his government that we got our people back in a very seamless and effortless manner. We repatriated over 600,000 people roughly, and Oman was probably one of the best country where we found the most amount of ease for our people and relaxations as well. This visit is important because there is an MOU in Labour signed with His Excellency's Minister, the Labour Ministry, His Excellency Dr. Mahad. I had a great meeting with my friend today. I really thank him for giving me the amount of time he has given us today and the topics that we covered. Oman has a fabulous vision of 2040. The people of Pakistan, inshallah, really wish it well, and we really want to be a part of their vision. We want to think that it's not only Oman's vision, but it's also Pakistan's vision, and a lot of other countries are involved in making this vision possible. And Pakistan would love to play as much of a leading role as it can. Like I said, there are so many factors and so many things that bring similarity between the two nations. Another thing, because I was chairman of tourism of Pakistan, there is a concept around the world where people don't like to go to the normal countries which are maybe overcrowded anymore. And sometimes families, especially with Islamophobia spreading in the West and in other countries, we look at other countries that have more exotic locations but have the same kind of lifestyle and offerings and maybe a little bit more family orientated. I know sometimes in tourism they like to use the word halal tourism or Muslim tourism, but it's a reality that families now want to explore out from the normal tourist destinations. In this, I think Pakistan and Oman have so much synergy that Pakistan has, 6 of the highest peaks in the world. It has some of the larger deserts. It has snowfall, which would be welcomed, I'm sure, by the Omani community in their summer holidays, in their summer periods and peaks, to just take a 2-3 hour flight over to Pakistan and experience more cold and maybe calmer weather. Likewise, Pakistanis sometimes can't take the cold, and right now I'm in the middle of winter and it's fabulous weather over here. And they see the ancient and the historic sites over here, and visit Salala and all the beautiful resorts which Pakistan can learn from to become a tourist destination which Pakistan usually isn't looked upon. But in this government, under the leadership of Prime Minister Khan, you know, we had a publication like Condé Nast vote us #1 tourist destination, exotic tourist destination. The British Backpackers Association voted us #1, Forbes, and everybody wrote about us. And we want a starting point for especially our brotherly Muslim countries to come visit Pakistan. And on the back of that, when the two countries have more synergy and more cooperation between the two on a bilateral level, you'll see that a lot of Pakistanis will start visiting Oman much more. A small little story, today morning I was in my hotel room and I gave my clothes for laundry, and it was a Pakistani gentleman, and he said after maybe 8-9 years he's seen a government official or a Pakistani or a bigger politician in his entire stay in this hotel. So it means that we're not coming here enough. Why not Oman? Same amount of distance and beautiful landscape and a lot to explore. Heritage, old civilization, you know, second, third largest community of Pakistanis over here, along with the size of the country. So I think this, and tourism is always a great place, always for two people of different nations to connect. It's always via tourism. It's always via sitting in each other's taxis, walking each other's streets, eating at each other's restaurants. And from there, things grow into economic growth, into business and whatnot. And so I think this visit is really important and very close to my heart. Because of the way His Majesty and his government has treated the Pakistanis and how they helped us for decades, and especially during COVID. And secondly, because of the historical 20-year gap visit of the Omani delegation and Chambers of Commerce to Pakistan. It's very important that we should follow up on this and see what we can do as a mutual interest, and see if we can help Oman build quicker on their 2040 vision, which it has absolutely humongous potential to do, and so much potential between the country and Pakistan and other countries. It's a great starting point, and we really want to take it leaps and bounds from here. So I really, as we say in our country, Pakistan, Oman Dosti, Zindabad.